Dr. Krani, how do you help patients change their mind and thought process in order to be successful with their weight goal?
Mind is the place where everything begins and actually everything ends. Uh, what happens that awareness, our consciousness comes to the mind enlightens, and now we have a choice to do conscious thinking or let it run its own way. Compared to digestive system where the food is digested, we don't digest. Circulation system is where the heart pumps the blood and blood goes to the tissue. We cannot say that I am pushing the blood, it happens automatically. Compared to these two systems, in the mind, we actually have a choice to think consciously. But what happens nowadays that 95% of time thinking just happens. We think that we're thinking, but it's just happening. It's not on our control. And that's unfortunate thing that has been happening. So what happens that whenever you look at any point in time about the life, the way you look at the life will come to you. Whatever you perceive through the mind, that will become your reality. If you go to sleep and if you're not dreaming and the mind is shut down, the world does not really exist for you. Now, you know a lot of people that were here in this world before, but they are not here. For them, this world does not exist. So the point is that whatever we keep focusing in our mind, that becomes our life experience. Life is just like a moment to moment experiences, that mind experiencing it. But unfortunately, we are not aware of these experiences because subconscious thinking just happening. And that subconscious thinking does not allow us to live in the present moment and experience actually what is happening around us. For example, the scientific data suggests that 95% of the time we live subconsciously. What it means that if we get up in the morning, we automatically walk to the bathroom. We don't say, okay, here we are, what do we do now consciously? We just walk to the bathroom subconsciously in the morning. Our conscious mind is somewhere else thinking already about past or future. And then we spend time about 40 minutes or whatever in the bathroom, and mind is thinking as well. It may come in between for a while for practical purpose, then goes back again thinking. Then we get ready, we go to work, we think about something else. Now when you're at work, you're thinking about home or something else. If it is the morning, you think about when it becomes evening. And when it becomes evening, you go home and you think about work. Now when it's night time, you think about morning time. When it is weekdays, you think about the weekend. When weekend comes, by Sunday afternoon, you start thinking about work already. Your butterflies already by that time. Then weekend comes already, you think about the weekdays. When you are on vacation, you think about the home. And when you are at home, you want to go on vacation. So that's what is happening in our life right now. Our mind is either anticipating about future events or going back into the past and trying to re-experience what we experience, but does not want to experience what is happening right now. And that's called unconscious living, subconscious living, and when we live consciously, that's called mindful living, conscious living. And the most important aspect of conscious living that happens, that universe exists only at this moment. It does not exist in the past anymore. It does not exist in the future. So we are here in this universe. Universal flow of energy comes here, but our mind is either in the past or future. So what happens? The mind does not receive the energy of the universal flow. And the people who live in the past or future normally feeling tired and fatigued. They do doctor shoppings and a lot of other things to figure out the problem, but its problem is that mind either is in the past or future. As soon as mind stays in the current moment, in this energy and this universe where it is happening everything, then they will different completely. And this moment is moving this forward. So there is always have to be in this compartment rather than decompartmentalizing themselves. That body is here, mind somewhere else, spirit somewhere else. So that's the problem. So we try to focus on this issue. If person understands that they can control the mind rather than mind control the person, we try to explain to the people that person is not the mind. You are not your mind. You control the mind if you are conscious. Do not be controlled by mind. Otherwise you're living subconsciously, life will just go away completely and you will not realize that life is already past. So the main point is that receive the universal flow of energy. In this moment, keep your mind, body embraced together. And then live consciously for this moment. Think about this moment, then you can enjoy it. Because past is gone. Past never existed either. You think you lived in the past, but you understand that whenever you were living in the past, it was present only. What you are thinking again and again about the past is just a memory trace that you're doing backward, forward like a CD or a tape. But it does not exist. Past never existed. Same thing, future never exists. You have always thought about living in future. I'll do this, I'll do that. But have you ever lived in future? So how can you live in future thinking right now that I'll live in future? In this many years you never live in future, so you are not going to live in future, because whenever the future moment you're going to be living, it will be again the present, and as soon as it becomes present, it becomes past. So that's the fundamental understanding. Here the knowledge is not important. Here the importance is realization. That you have to realize deeply with awareness that's what's happening. And once you realize deeply, then there is a shift in our energy field. And we feel totally different. Then the problem will look differently, because everything is temporary in this universe. Feature has a name, that doesn't end. It is saying in the Eastern countries that whichever is a name, it doesn't end. So now we have to figure it out. How do we live? How do we live happily in this moment? And once people understand that, they get better about their living consciously. They understand that they are eternal in a way. The mind is for short term. It also changes so frequently because we're letting it work on its own. So that's the way we make people understand, make them believe, and make them practice on that with our different programs so they can control their mind.